When you're a celebrity, all eyes are on you, especially your mistakes. So with that in mind, here's our list of the top 10 cheating scandals that destroyed celebrities' careers. Starting off, we have Tiger Woods. Now, Tiger Woods was one of the best golfers in the world. His career was skyrocketing, but then it all came crashing down. Now, Tiger became engaged to Ellen Nordegren, a Swedish former model, in November 2003 and married in 2004. They had 2 children together, but in 2009, cheating scandal after cheating scandal was exposed with Tiger. More than a dozen women stepped forward claiming to have had affairs with him. When all was said and done, Tiger admitted to sleeping with multiple women, though it all started with one, Rachel Urschel. It was reported that Tiger allegedly had a months-long affair with the New York City nightclub host. Now, days and months following this report, more than a dozen women claimed in various media outlets to have had affairs with him. Now, he lied about everything before finally confessing to cheating in a televised statement. Now, Tiger confessed to sleeping with 120 women while he was married. Yeah, 120. Now, after 6 years of marriage, his wife Ellen divorced him, which makes a lot of sense. After the news broke, sponsors immediately cut ties with him, and he was out of tens of millions of dollars almost overnight. Now, he thought he could get away with it because he was Tiger Woods, but that all backfired as he was actually made an example of. Up next is Amy Robach and TJ Holmes. Amy Robach and TJ Holmes were co-hosts of Good Morning America 3, What You Need to Know, and they had worked together since TJ joined the show in the year 2020. Now, at the end of 2022, the Daily Mail published photos of the co-workers taken across several outings, from getting drinks at a New York City bar to loading up a car at a cottage upstate. Now, neither of the broadcasters immediately addressed the photos or revealed whether they had split from their respective spouses. Now, TJ had been married to his wife for 12 years, and Amy was married to her husband for 12 years as well. In January 2023, the couple decided to walk away from their positions as co-anchors after being caught in their affair scandal. A statement was released which read, "After several productive conversations with Amy Robach and TJ Holmes about different opinions, we all agree it's best for everyone that they move on from ABC News. We recognize their talent and commitment over the years and are thankful for their contributions." Now, they have continued their relationship today and have actually started their own podcast together. Now, after they spoke about their relationship publicly for the first time, Page 6 broke the news that their exes were dating each other on December 5th, 2023. Sources said that the two had been dating for 6 months at that point after bonding over the traumatic experience of being cheated on. It turned into something else, and they're connected over their values. It's bigger than the affair now, one insider shared. They're not heartbroken and sad, everyone has moved on. Now, I guess this is a happy ending. I don't know though, losing your job over a relationship isn't a good thing at all. Moving on to Meg Ryan. Meg Ryan had a successful career when she was married to Dennis Quaid, but her girl next door image was completely ruined when rumors emerged about her cheating with her Proof of Life co-star Russell Crowe. Now, the tabloid frenzy affair was publicly perceived as the reason for her divorce from her husband of 9 years, Dennis Quaid, and led to a serious decline in her popularity. Now, Meg also denied that her fling with Crowe was the reason for the divorce, saying, "My marriage was breaking up long before it became a matter of public discussion." Years later, Meg blamed her own affair on Dennis, claiming that he was cheating on her throughout their entire marriage. She said, "Dennis was not faithful to me for a very long time, and that was very painful. I found out more about that after I was divorced." Now, regardless, Meg's career hit a wall. Her film Proof of Life bombed at the box office, and the Golden Globe nominated actor has had trouble getting back into the limelight. And now there's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger and his wife Maria Shriver had been married for 25 years when they announced that they were splitting up in 2011. Now, soon after the real reason for their split was revealed, Arnold had an affair with a woman who worked in their home, and she'd given birth to their son, Joseph Bena, 14 years earlier in 1997. Now, he kept that a secret for 14 years. What? Now, Arnold revealed the news to his wife after his time as governor of California came to a close. After leaving the governor's office, I told my wife about this event, which occurred over a decade ago, he told the Los Angeles Times in 2011. I understand and deserve the feelings of anger and disappointment among my friends and family. There are no excuses, and I take full responsibility for the hurt I have caused. I apologize to Maria, my children, and my family. I am truly sorry. Now, his son, who he kept a secret, Joseph, had a relationship with Arnold, and like his father, he is a bodybuilder. But now just imagine if all this came out when he was still a governor. Moving on to Ned Fulmer. Ned Fulmer was a member of the internet group called the Try Guys. Now, his main personality trait in the group was the I love my wife guy, but then in September 2022, he was exposed as a cheater. TikTokers posted photo evidence of what appeared to be Ned kissing one of his producers, Alex Herring. Now, a fan also posted on Instagram a photo with her and Ned, captioning it that she saw Ned and Alex together at a Harry Styles concert at the beginning of September. Now, rumors and proof were gathered, and later, near the end of September, Ned confirmed that he had cheated on his wife and publicly apologized. Due to this being a work-related incident and the Try Guys losing a lot of money due to the scandal, Ned was kicked out. The Try Guys Twitter posted a message saying Ned Fulmer is no longer working with the Try Guys. As a result of a thorough internal review, we do not see a path forward together. We thank you for your support as we navigate this change. Now, it seems like Ned is back together with his wife now, but I don't think he'll be getting his career back anytime soon. Then there's Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton was the 42nd president of the United States from 1993 to 2001, but in the 90s, Clinton was accused of being in a relationship with Monica Lewinsky, an intern at the White House, who was hired during Clinton's first term in 1995. Now, Clinton had been married to his wife Hillary since 1975, but he denied that he was having an affair. During a televised statement, the president denied having a sexual relationship with her, stating, "I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky." Afterwards, though, Monica confided in Linda Tripp, her co-worker, about the relationship and how it was true. It was then brought to light that Bill's and Monica's sexual relationship lasted between 1995 and 1997. Bill then finally admitted that he had a relationship with her, stating, "I did have a relationship with Miss Lewinsky that was not appropriate. In fact, it was wrong. It constituted a critical lapse in judgment and a personal failure on my part for which I am solely and completely responsible. I know that my public comments and my silence about this matter gave a false impression. I misled people, including even my wife. I deeply regret that." Now, this ultimately ruined his reputation and Monica's. Moving on to Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner first met on the set of the 2000 movie Pearl Harbor, but were in separate relationships at the time. Ben was engaged to Jennifer Lopez, and they were supposed to be married in 2003, but in 2004 they called off their engagement. Jennifer was married to Scott Foley for 4 years, who she divorced in 2003. Ben and Jen then started a relationship and got married in 2005 and had 3 children, and likely had a perfect family, until their nanny, Christine Ozozian, claimed that she and Ben had an affair. In 2015, sources told Page 6, amid reports of Ben's gambling and alleged cheating with other women, that the pair had drifted apart and had been in professional therapy for years. Now, their split was announced a day after their 10th wedding anniversary, and they finalized their divorce in 2018, but remain on good terms. In a conversation with Vanity Fair, Jennifer had confirmed Ben's affair with the nanny, as she said, "Let me just tell you something, we had been separated for months before I ever heard about the nanny. She had nothing to do with our decision to divorce. She was not a part of the equation." Now we have Kristen Stewart. In 2012, photos of Kristen Stewart kissing Rupert Sanders, the director of her movie Snow White and the Huntsman, were released, and they caused a frenzy. Now, at the time, she was famously in a relationship with her Twilight co-star Robert Pattinson, while Rupert was married to his wife since 2002, model Liberty Ross. Now, after the photos were released, both Kristen and Rupert released their own statements. Kristen said, "I'm deeply sorry for the hurt and embarrassment I've caused to those close to me and everyone this has affected. This momentary indiscretion has jeopardized the most important thing in my life, the person I love and respect the most, Rob. I love him, I'm sorry." But ultimately, she and Robert broke up in May of 2013. Now, Rupert's statement said, "I'm utterly distraught about the pain I've caused my family. My beautiful wife and heavenly children are all I have in this world. I love them with all my heart. I'm praying we can get through this together." But after this, his wife filed for divorce 6 months later. Next is Jesse James. Jesse James was caught cheating on his wife Sandra Bullock. They got married in 2005, but when it was uncovered that Jesse had been cheating on Sandra for a long time with multiple women, he became, by his own admission, the most hated man in the world. Now, In Touch magazine revealed the intimate details of Jesse's affair with model Michelle Bombshell McGee in March of 2010. Later, two other women, Melissa Smith and photographer Bridget DeGuer, also claimed to have had romantic entanglements with Jesse during his marriage. Jesse said, "Yeah, I did cheat on my wife. Yeah, I stood up and took accountability for it and apologized, and that's the end of the story." Now, he eventually checked into rehab for a love addiction, and Sandra swiftly filed for divorce. Now, they were in the process of adopting a child together, but Sandra chose to continue the adoption process of her son Louis without James, and 7 years later, James said that he had no regrets. And finally, we have Jada Pinkett Smith. The actress Jada Pinkett Smith admitted on Red Table Talk that she had an entanglement with R&B singer August Alsina during her marriage to Will Smith, although they were separated at the time. Now, though the Smiths wouldn't call it a scandal, the rest of the world was shocked when August spoke out about a relationship he had with Jada Pinkett Smith during an interview in June 2020. He said, "I totally gave myself to that relationship for years of my life, and I truly and really deeply love and have a ton of love for her." Now, he went on to claim that Will knew about the relationship and even gave August and Jada his blessing. Now, naturally, people were shocked as the Smiths are one of the longest lasting and famous Hollywood couples in recent history. Now, first, the couple issued a quick statement denying the relationship, but Jada then announced on her Twitter that she was taking herself to the Red Table. In July 2020, the Smiths sat down at the Red Table and discussed their relationship. They spoke about a dark period in their marriage where they thought they were going to separate and never speak again. Now, that's when Jada and August began their relationship, or what she originally called an entanglement. Will denied giving August permission, but did know that the two were seeing each other. However, their relationship came to an end once she and Will decided to try and work things out, which they did. Well, that's all for our list of the top 10 cheating scandals that destroyed celebrities' careers. Did anyone on our list shock you?
We know that Hollywood is full of toxic relationships, so here are the 10 celebrities who dated awful people. First up, we have Taylor Swift. Taylor and Matt Healy were first speculated to be dating on the 3rd of May this year, but earlier this week came news that Taylor was apparently single again. The 1975 singer has done and said all sorts of problematic things in his career thus far. These include doing a controversial salute on stage, making awful comments about the musician Ice Spice, and even calling Taylor's own mother Miss Piggy during a podcast appearance. And with everything that's come out since then, it seems like everyone has an opinion about the relationship. One person tweeted, "I'm not going to unstand Taylor for the whole Maddie thing, but she needs to be held accountable for dating someone who's misogynistic, fatphobic, and just gross. You are who you associate with. Being the biggest pop star in the world does not give her the right to excuse his behavior." Another person wrote, "If Swifties are concerned about how problematic Maddie is and make threads about it, why don't they hold Taylor accountable because she's the one who's been friends with and a fan of him for 10 years and supposedly now dating him? Critique her for associating. She's not an innocent baby anymore," so Taylor also got a lot of hate for this relationship. Next up, we have Megan Good. The actress caused quite a stir when it was revealed that she is dating Jonathan Majors. Earlier this year, it was confirmed by TMZ that the actors were dating after being spotted in LA, and as recently as 3 days ago, they were seen shopping in Morocco. The relationship comes after Jonathan was arrested in March in connection with an alleged domestic dispute. He was charged 2 days later, and it seems as though his career in Hollywood might be over. The Marvel actor was dropped by his management and PR team following his arrest. But regardless of these circumstances, Megan and Jonathan made their first red carpet appearance together earlier this month. An inside source said that the two of them have been living together since February, and that they're solid and very much in love. Speaking about the relationship, Megan said, "I'm in love, I'm transitioning, I'm healing, I'm growing, and I'm getting excited about what's next. Yeah, just a lot of things at once, but what can I say? I'm the happiest I've been in a long time, and they are still together as far as we know." Next, we have Kirsten Corley, who dated Chance the Rapper and recently announced that they are divorcing. She wrote, "After a period of separation, the two of us have arrived at the decision to part ways. We came to this decision amicably and with gratitude for the time we spent together. God has blessed us with two beautiful daughters who will continue to raise together." Chance and Kirsten started dating in 2013 and went on to welcome two daughters, Kensley and Marley. As for their marriage, it's apparently been on the rocks for quite some time. Last year, a viral video went around of Chance at the 2023 Carnival in Jamaica, where he was seen grinding with dancers and getting very close to them. As you could probably guess, this led to a lot of backlash on social media. The video had people divided about whether or not he was cheating on Kirsten. It was such a big deal because Chance was pretty known as a certified wife guy, which is a term for men who publicly praise their wives and brand themselves through their marriages. This is exactly what happened when Chance got married back in 2019. He made it his mission to let the world know how happy they are together. But of course, we never really know what goes on in these relationships. Moving on to Tori Spelling, who filed for divorce from Dean McDermott, her husband of nearly 18 years, on March 29th, just a few weeks shy of what would have been their 18th wedding anniversary. She identified June 17, 2023 as the date of separation due to irreconcilable differences. This is an interesting end for their relationship considering how they started off. Dean and Tori met on the set of Lifetime's Mind Over Murder in 2005, only a year after Tori married her first husband, Charlie Shanian. Dean was also married at the time for more than a decade to Mary Jo Eustace, with whom he shares a son. Tori and Dean began cheating on their spouses the night they met. In fact, she wrote about the affair in her 2009 memoir. She said, "It was love at first sight. I fell so hard. Then I noticed he had a wedding ring. When someone asked, he pulled out photos of his children. And oh yeah, I had a husband as well." So they ended up spending the night together despite the fact that they were both married. And she said she knew it was meant to be because when she woke up next to Dean the following day, and she had no regrets. The two of them got married and went on to have 4 children together before yet another cheating scandal rocked their relationship in 2013, this time with Dean and the nanny. So it was always a scandalous relationship no matter how you look at it. Next up we have Pete Davidson. When Pete met Kim Kardashian on the set of SNL, he had no idea what was in store for him. Fans could not stop cringing at their relationship. At one point, Pete got tattoos of Kim and her 4 children. Now that they have broken up, it seems like it was a poorly thought out permanent decision. One of the tattoos Pete had dedicated to Kim said "My girl is a lawyer," which he got to celebrate her passing the baby bar. He also got the names Aladdin and Jasmine with an infinity symbol between them, which is a reference to their first kiss on SNL. And he even got the initials of her 4 children in a tattoo that reads KNSCP, but of course, Kim didn't get any cheesy couple tattoos done of herself. That really says a lot about the differences between them. One of the biggest complications of their relationship was her ex Kanye West. For some reason, the rapper was so threatened by the idea of his ex-wife moving on with Pete that he made it his mission to try and make his life a living hell. As a result, fans felt bad that Pete had to go through all of that because you could tell that it really put a strain on his mental health. While it was great that he stood by Kim during all of the Kanye drama, clearly at some point it became too much for anyone to have to put up with. Next we have Kylie Jenner. Kylie and Travis began dating in 2017 and have had 2 children together. As of January 2023, the couple are no longer together, but they continue to co-parent their kids. Travis has been heavily criticized for disregarding the safety of his fans at his own concerts. In 2015 and 2017, the rapper was arrested for disorderly conduct after he encouraged fans to jump barricades and rush the stage. Infamously, during the 2021 Astroworld Festival, 10 attendees passed away and hundreds more were injured in a crowd surge. According to eyewitnesses, Travis continued to perform and was even heard telling the crowd to go wild despite emergency service personnel being on hand all the time. So not only is he not very responsible, he just seems like he doesn't care about his own fans. Thankfully, Kylie has moved on with Timothée Chalamet, and the two seem happier than ever. Next, we have Jennifer Garner. The actress was famously married to Ben Affleck for 10 years. Their relationship was nothing short of a disaster thanks to Ben's toxic behavior. In July of 2015, rumors started to surface that he cheated on Jennifer with the nanny of the couple's 3 children. She was only working a couple of months as their nanny, which makes it even crazier. At first, Ben tried to deny the allegation by claiming it was a pile of hot garbage. But according to inside sources, the affair began in the spring of 2015, shortly after she was hired, and what started as a friendship quickly developed into an intimate relationship. It was also said the nanny accompanied Ben and his 3 kids to the Bahamas in June before Jennifer flew down separately. So there was a lot of sneaking around going on. While in the Bahamas, the couple finally announced their divorce on June 30th, shortly after a photo came out of Ben kissing the nanny, which sent the media into a frenzy. The couple's divorce was finalized in October of 2018, and the couple have since moved on and seem to be doing well separately. Moving on to Elizabeth Hurley. After Hugh Grant cheated on Elizabeth, the news was everywhere from tabloids to talk shows. In 1995, he was arrested in LA after being caught engaging in a certain activity that we won't get into. Grant was sentenced to a fine for breaking the law and issued a public apology to Elizabeth, who was his partner of 8 years, which must have been incredibly embarrassing for her. One of the most iconic moments happened when he went on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno soon after the scandal broke. He was asked, "What were you thinking?" and was really the question that everyone wanted to know. And in the ensuing years, Hugh Grant addressed the embarrassing incident even further, and he explained what was going on with him at the time. On the podcast WTF with Mark Maron in 2021, he said that he cheated on Elizabeth because he had just watched his new movie and didn't like what he saw. The actor claimed that he was so atrocious in the role that it led to him not being in a good frame of mind, whatever that means. That brings us to Khloe Kardashian. In 2018, photos of Tristan having an affair surfaced online while he was still dating Khloe. To make matters worse, she was 9 months pregnant at the time of this happening. Not long after, TMZ came out with video footage dating back to October 2017 that showed the NBA player kissing 2 other random women at a nightclub. But despite the fact that there was now hard evidence of Tristan cheating on Khloe without really attempting to hide it, they decided to stay together for the birth of their child. But things did not stay smooth forever, as in 2019, reports surfaced that Tristan had cheated on Khloe once again, this time with none other than Jordyn Woods. She was a close friend of the family, saying that she was Kylie Jenner's best friend and roommate. Anonymous party attendees told TMZ that the pair were all over each other and made out several times throughout the night. The explosive incident almost broke up the family entirely, and as a result, multiple relationships were ruined. And lastly, we have to mention Anna Marie Tendler. In early September, amid questions about the timeline of John Mulaney's romance with Olivia Munn, the comedian's ex-wife Anna Marie Tendler reportedly knew he was doing things with other women before he went to rehab and before they ended their marriage in late 2020. It wasn't entirely clear when his relationship with Olivia started, but it appeared John was going to great lengths to dispute the idea that he ever cheated. Anna Marie divorced from comedian Mulaney after 6 years of marriage. In a statement at the time, the artist said, quote, "I feel heartbroken that John has decided to end our marriage. I wish him support and success as he continues his recovery." 1 week later though, news broke that Mulaney had started dating actress Olivia Munn, and less than 2 months later, it was confirmed that Munn was pregnant with her and Mulaney's child. Whether or not there was any overlap between the two women though is still very uncertain. So many celebrities were caught cheating this year, it's absolutely insane. So here are the top 10 celebrity cheaters who destroyed their marriages in 2024. Chance the Rapper and his wife Kirsten Corley took to social media on April 3rd to announce that they're divorcing. They wrote, "After a period of separation, the two of us have arrived at the decision to part ways. We came to this decision amicably and with gratitude for the time we spent together. God has blessed us with 2 beautiful daughters who we will continue to raise together." Chance and Kirsten started dating in 2013 and went on to welcome 2 daughters, Kensley and Marley. As for their marriage, it's apparently been on the rocks for quite some time. Last year, a viral video went around of Chance at the 2023 Carnival in Jamaica, where he was seen grinding with dancers and getting very close to them. As you could probably guess, this led to a lot of backlash on social media. The video had people divided about whether or not he was cheating on Kirsten. It was such a big deal because Chance was pretty much known as a certified wife guy, which is a term for men who publicly praise their wives and brand themselves through their marriages. This is exactly what happened when Chance got married in 2019. He made it his mission to let the world know how happy they are together, but of course, we never really know what goes on in relationships. Moving on to Tori Spelling, who filed for divorce from Dean McDermott, her husband of nearly 18 years, on March 29th, just a few weeks shy of what would have been their 18th wedding anniversary. She identified June 17, 2023 as the date of separation due to irreconcilable differences. This is an interesting end for their relationship, considering how they started. Dean and Tori met on set of Lifetime's Mind Over Murder in 2005, only a year after Tori married her first husband, Charlie Shanian. Dean was also married at the time for more than a decade to Mary Jo Eustace, with whom he shares a son. Tori and Dean began cheating on their spouses the night they met. In fact, she wrote about the affair in her 2009 memoir. She said, "It was love at first sight. I fell so hard. Then I noticed he had a wedding ring. When someone asked, he pulled out photos of his children. And oh yeah, I had a husband too." So they ended up spending the night together despite the fact that they were both married. And she said she knew it was meant to be because when she woke up next to Dean the following day and had no regrets. The two of them got married and went on to have 4 children together before yet another cheating scandal rocked the relationship in 2013, this time with Dean and the nanny. So it was always a scandalous relationship no matter how you look at it. Next up we have Dylan Sprouse. The internet was shocked to see this scandal hit Hollywood's golden couple who've been together for over 6 years. Model Barbara Palvin and actor Dylan Sprouse have been the center of controversy recently thanks to a TikTok that claimed Dylan cheated on his wife during his recent Cannes Film Festival. The anonymous TikToker claims that a prominent young female blogger has bragged about her involvement with him on social media, though without explicitly naming names. And sadly, this is not the first time Dylan has faced accusations of infidelity. His previous girlfriend, Dana Frazier, had publicly accused him of cheating during the relationship, a scandal that ultimately led to their breakup. After that relationship ended, he went on to date and eventually marry Barbara, which led to some people even calling her a homewrecker. And even since then, their marriage has been closely followed by fans who have watched their love story unfold over the course of more than 6 6 years. The couple tied the knot in a lavish wedding in Hungary last summer, which was widely covered by the media. So it's no surprise that scandal comes as a shocking blow to their loyal fanbase, who've championed their relationship as a shining example of Hollywood romance. Moving on to Sacha Baron Cohen. He and his wife Isla Fisher shared a joint statement to their Instagram story to announce their divorce publicly. They wrote, "After a long tennis match lasting over 20 years, we are finally putting our rackets down. In 2023, we jointly filed to end our marriage. We've always prioritized our privacy and have been quietly working through this change. We forever share in our devotion and love for our children. We sincerely appreciate respecting our family's wish for privacy." After the two of them announced they were ending their marriage, an insider claimed that Sacha had been talking to divorce lawyers in the summer of 2023. Apparently, it wasn't the first time they explored a possible split, because they also reached out to divorce lawyers several years ago. So whatever their issues, they have been going on for quite a while. Sacha and Isla first met at a 2001 party in Sydney, years before either of them became famous. They then married on March 15th in 2010. Although they had been together for more than 20 years, it's clear they just couldn't make it work. Next up, we have Olivia Wilde. After a 7-year engagement, she and her husband Jason Sudeikis announced that they had separated in November 2020. Like most celebrity couples that live in the public eye, their divorce is very messy, and so is their big public breakup and bitter custody battle over their 2 young children. But it seems like these two are still at each other's throats, which may or may not be due to the fact that Olivia allegedly cheated on Jason with Harry Styles, which is one of the main reasons for their split. In fact, it was heavily implied the two of them had been having an affair for around a month before the breakup, and what made it worse was that Jason reportedly didn't realize it was happening and even brought their children to visit the set. And just last month, when Olivia was presenting on the stage of CinemaCon, the actress and director was faced with a bitter surprise when she was served custody papers halfway through her talk. She later told Variety, "I hated that this nastiness distracted from the work of so many different people and the studio that I was up there representing to try to sabotage. That was really vicious. But you know, sadly, it was not something that was entirely surprising to me. I mean, there's a reason I left that relationship, so that really says it all." On to Jada Pinkett Smith. Musician August Alsina brought the Smiths' relationship into the spotlight in July 2020 when he revealed that he was romantically involved with Pinkett Smith and that Will knew about it the whole time and had even given them his blessing. Though Jada initially denied the claims, she eventually confessed to being in an entanglement with August when she and her husband were separated. Quote, "We decided we were going to separate for a period of time, and you go figure out how to make yourself happy, and I'll figure out how to make myself happy." Smith said this during an appearance on Red Table Talk in July 2020. They both went on to the talk show together, and in a heartbreaking episode, Jada told Will how she came to be romantically involved with August and how he made her feel special because of what was lacking in the relationship at the time. Will took the whole thing like a champion, but the clip went viral online because he looked on the verge of tears the whole time Jada was talking. Looking back on that moment now, it almost hurts to watch. Next up, we have Gerard Piqué. In June of 2022, Barcelona and Spain football star Gerard Piqué's high-profile marriage to Colombian star Shakira allegedly ended due to his unfaithfulness. A few days later, Shakira and Piqué confirmed that they had in fact called it quits. According to Spanish newspaper Marca, the other woman was 23-year-old Clara Chia, who was dating one of his friends at the time. Piqué was allegedly smitten the first time he saw her, and they exchanged phone numbers and started dating in secret. Now new details have emerged that they may have been cheating on Shakira as far back as 2012 with Israeli supermodel Bar Refaeli, who also happens to be Leonardo DiCaprio's ex-girlfriend. The affair was exposed when Shakira found messages detailing their intimate encounters. When she was asked about Piqué being linked to another woman, she told Elle magazine, "I can only say that I put everything I had into this relationship and my family," and pointed out that although she chose her marriage over her career, sadly it still didn't work out. On to Ime Udoka. Actress Nia Long had been in a relationship with Celtics coach Ime Udoka for well over a decade, and the two share a 10-year-old son. Just 2 weeks before they planned to move their family to Boston, where they were house hunting, Nia learned about his betrayal. It turns out her fiance was having an affair with a married front office staffer. It was Ime who reportedly came clean to the actress about the affair, because news of his infidelity was about to be made public. On September 22nd, the Boston Celtics announced the coach had been suspended for the 2022-2023 season for violating its team rules. Nia then released a statement addressing her heartbreak, saying, "The outpouring of love and support from family, friends, and the community during this difficult time means so much to me." Ime also released a statement saying, "I want to apologize to our players, fans, the entire Celtics organization, and my family for letting them all down. I am so sorry for putting the team in this difficult situation, and I accept the team's decision." Well, that was pretty bad. The next couple also went through a similar situation, although it was a lot more quiet. Around the same time, Emily Ratajkowski filed for divorce from film producer husband Sebastian in Manhattan Supreme Court after 4 years of marriage. Back in July, a source close to the model confirmed that the couple had broken up because of his infidelity. Quote, "He cheated. He's a serial cheater. It's so gross. He's a dog." Although Emily hasn't spoken out directly about her personal life, she's removed both her engagement ring and wedding band and has been photographed without the jewelry for at least 3 weeks. She chose not to trash Sebastian publicly, but instead subtly confirmed the rumors by several tweets, including one finally free from that man just proves that God is actually very real. In truth, everyone was especially surprised that Emily got cheated on given her insane beauty and supermodel status. Pretty soon the internet flooded with women in despair saying things like, well, if Emily got cheated on, then no one is safe. And lastly we have Adam Levine. The Maroon 5 frontman has been married to his Victoria's Secret supermodel wife Behati Prinsloo for almost a decade. The couple have 2 children together and another one on the way. But that all came crashing down when an Instagram model named Summer Stroh went on TikTok and posted a video called Having an Affair with a Man Who's Married to a Victoria's Secret Model, which basically is a whole video confessing that they had been in a relationship with Adam Levine for a whole year. She's also come through with a whopping amount of evidence and posted a series of DMs that Adam sent her on Instagram. To make matters even worse, several months after the affair, Adam DM'd Summer out of the blue asking if she would be okay with him naming his baby after her. This news was perhaps one of the biggest cheating scandals of the year, and so far another.
Not all marriages will last, and here are some of the more notable ones that ended earlier this year. Gypsy Rose Blanchard revealed her split from husband Ryan Scott Anderson to her Facebook friends on March 28th, saying in a statement, "Unfortunately, my husband and I are going through a separation, and I moved in with my parents' home down the bayou. I am learning to listen to my heart. Right now, I need time to let myself find who I am." Now, for context, during the panini, Ryan Anderson sent a letter to Gypsy after his co-worker did the same to Tiger King star Joe Exotic. Now, he didn't expect to hear back from Gypsy, but after receiving a reply in May of 2020, the pair started exchanging emails until the relationship bloomed and now is no more. But don't worry, Gypsy isn't recovering alone from this heartbreak. She was seen getting matching tattoos with her former fiance. Yep, different guy. Just days after it was announced that she was splitting up with Ryan. So Ken was engaged to Gypsy back in 2018 before they separated while she was still behind bars. And yeah, he was by her side at a tattoo parlor as they allegedly got matching images of huskies on their arms, according to TMZ. And as of the end of April, Gypsy is officially back together with Ken, which, if you're following this timeline, it's just 1 month after she confirmed her split with Ryan. And she said, "After reconnecting earlier this month, we realized that our love for each other is simply undeniable and life is too short to not take a chance." Well, I wish them luck. Next up, we've got Sacha Baron Cohen and Isla Fisher. Now, this pair, who share kids Olivia, Alula, and Montgomery, split after nearly 14 years of marriage, saying after a long tennis match lasting over 20 years, "We are finally putting our rackets down." This was announced in a joint Instagram story statement on April 5th. "In 2023, we jointly filed to end our marriage. We have always prioritized our privacy and have been quietly working through this change." They went on to note that they will forever share in our devotion and love for our children, adding, "We sincerely appreciate you respecting our family's wish for privacy." Now, this split is hot on the heels of all of the recent Sasha controversy. Earlier this year, Rebel Wilson became the latest to speak out about Baron Cohen, saying the actor attempted to halt publication of her memoir, Rebel Rising, in which she calls him an a-hole after their time working together on the 2016 movie The Brothers Grimsby, and she claims that he was not so great on set. I guess nobody wants it this way. AJ McClain and Rochelle McClain confirmed on January 1st that they decided to end their marriage after a trial separation. They said in a statement, "As you all know, we have been separated for over a year now. While we have hoped for reconciliation, we have decided to officially end our marriage. It is with deep love and respect that we have made this decision." And this was a joint statement on Instagram. They went on to say that our focus now is moving forward in the healthiest possible way, with friendship and co-parenting our girls at the forefront of this next chapter. We appreciate your kindness, respect, and privacy at this time. AJ and Rochelle were married for about 12 years and had 2 girls together, so this hurts to see. And their relationship actually goes back so much further than this. AJ met Rochelle in October of 2001, before the two reunited in 2006 and then began dating in 2009. On his birthday in 2010, he proposed and credits her with the motivation to get him sober and overcome his years-long struggle with addiction. So, just sad to see. Natalie Portman and Benjamin Millepied quietly finalized their divorce in February after 11 years of marriage. This was confirmed to People magazine by her rep. The Black Swan star secretly filed for dissolution over the summer in France, where she lives with her 2 children, son Aleph and daughter Amalia. The divorce came after Page Six broke the news that the choreographer had allegedly cheated on Portman with a young climate activist named Camille. And by young, I mean under like half his age. When you consider the fact that technically the whole Natalie and Benjamin relationship started possibly under cheating circumstances on the Black Swan set, well, once a cheater, always a cheater. According to The Guardian and other unconfirmed reports, Benjamin was living with his former partner, ballet dancer Isabella Boylston, in 2009. when he left her for Portman. In a 2018 interview with Hoda for SiriusXM, Natalie said she was in dreamland while filming the physically demanding drama because she was getting to know him at the time. She called the early stages of their relationship romantic because they were catching feelings for each other while he was teaching her how to dance. Yeah, showmance turned romance turned kaput. Chance the Rapper and Kirsten Corley have had quite the long-winded relationship. So they first met each other in 2003 when they were like 9, and after 9 years, okay. In 2012, they met again at the South by Southwest Film Festival in Austin, Texas. They reconnected when they went back home to Chicago, and shortly after, I think it was in 2013, they began dating. In September of 2015, they welcomed their first daughter, Kensley, and in February of 2016, they broke up briefly, but later reconciled. On July 4th of 2018, Chance proposed to Kirsten at a family barbecue in Chicago. Then on March 9th of 2019, they married at the resort at Pelican Hill in Newport Beach, California. Now, the pair announced their split via social media on April 3rd after 5 years of marriage. After a period of separation, the two of us have arrived at the decision to part ways. We came to this decision amicably and with gratitude for the same time we spent together. So, question, did anybody else see that video last year that started the divorce rumors? So this was a video that went viral on socials, showing somebody dancing intimately with a woman at Jamaica's Carnival. Twitter users went wild, questioning like, hey, does Kirsten approve? And one fan went as far to say that this behavior was indicative of a divorce. Tori Spelling and Dean McDermott are yet another acting couple that went kaput this year. Spelling officially filed for divorce on March 29th, 9 months after separating from McDermott, and after 18-ish years together total. So back in April, on the debut episode of her podcast, Miss Spelling, Tori said, like, I just filed for divorce. Like, she opened with that. Whoa, I just said the words that I've said in my head for like 16 years. Wild. Ooh, that's kind of a grim statement. Granted, Tori and Dean's relationship was far from a smooth one. In the course of almost 2 decades together, the pair cheated on their former spouses with each other, tied the knot, welcomed 5 children, and weathered a storm of financial troubles and infidelity, all of which often put them back in the headlines. They also opted to shine a spotlight directly on their personal life as they starred in multiple seasons of like several reality shows, including the Lifetime docuseries True Tori in the aftermath of Dean's cheating. Now, in June of last year, Dean actually posted a breakup announcement on his Instagram, only to delete it several hours later. Well, these two eventually separated for good that same month over his struggles with substances, and now game over, I guess. Light singer Ellie Goulding and art dealer Casper Jopling announced their separation after 4 years of marriage on February 23rd, saying, "We remain the closest of friends and have been successful co-parenting with our sons' best interests at heart." Now, this was in a statement that Ellie wrote on her Instagram story. She added, "We are committed to protecting our family's privacy and thank people in advance for respecting our wishes." Now, taking to his Instagram stories, Casper wrote, "Hi people, hope you're having a good day. I feel sadly that I need to say something on mine and Ellie's current relationship that I hope more than anything will make any final tabloid speculation disappear. Ellie and I made the decision to separate some time ago. Our immediate family and close friends have known for some time, otherwise we chose to do what we could to keep this private." He continued saying, "Ellie and I remain the closest of friends and most importantly, co-parents to the best kiddo in the world, Arthur. And please ask that you respect mine and Ellie's privacy. Thanks a lot, Casper." So the couple's relationship began in 2017 after meeting at a dinner with friends in New York, and at the time, the singer was at the end of a tour and wasn't sure whether to go to dinner. Well, good thing she did. They wed in August of 2019 after getting engaged in August of 2018 and welcomed their son Arthur in May of 2021. So last year it was reported that Ellie and Casper had been spending time apart due to their hectic schedules. The rumors first emerged in July, with Ellie being spotted without her wedding ring, and But hey, it looks like Ellie has already found a new fling though. In images obtained by The Sun, the singer was seen frolicking with hunky surfer Armando Perez. Now, the handsome surfer was seen leaning in to hug and kiss Ellie during a lesson. Ooh la la. Sam Raimi and Gillian Green are yet another longtime couple that called it quits this year. Green filed for divorce from the Spider-Man actor in May after 30 years of marriage, according to court documents obtained by People magazine. While Raimi and Green's marriage date is listed as September 17th of 1993, their date of separation was listed as TBD. Now, the filing shows that Green has requested that the court award her spousal support and terminate Raimi's ability to receive alimony. She's also requesting that he cover her attorney fees. Oh, there's no mention of a prenup, but interesting. Gary Turner and Teresa Nist. Yep, this one broke my heart. The Golden Bachelor couple announced their plans to divorce during an April 12th interview on Good Morning America, the same day Turner officially filed for divorce and just 3 months after tying the knot on TV. Teresa and I have had a number of heart-to-heart conversations, and we've looked closely at our situation, like our living situation and so forth, and we've kind of come to the conclusion mutually that it's probably time for us to dissolve our marriage. This was the statement made on the show. Look, I don't always pay attention to Bachelor romances, but this was one I was rooting for and just oh so invested in. Following their nuptials, the duo gave a handful of sweet glimpses of their love story to the public, including ringing in the holidays alongside each other and tuning into The Bachelor together. Oh well, maybe the Golden Bachelorette will do better. And finally for today, Katie McLean and John Lindstrom. If you don't know who they are, they were alumni of As the World Turns, and they announced on April 27th that they were divorcing after 10 years of marriage. Saying in a statement, "We are taking this opportunity to make a short statement about our relationship status. It may be obvious to some based on our posts that we've taken some time apart. After serious consideration, we have decided that our goals have been taking us in different directions and to end our marriage. We remain friends and wish each other every happiness. As people who work in the public eye, it can be difficult to have a private life. Regardless, we ask for your kind consideration in this matter. I wish them nothing but the best."
Not every Hollywood love story gets a happily ever after. Here are the top 10 celebrities who destroyed their relationship in 2024. Turns out, there was a reason Harry Styles didn't accompany girlfriend Taylor Russell to the Met Gala, and it wasn't due to lack of ticket. The two stars were first linked in June of 2023. Things quickly progressed from there. Russell was spotted at his concerts in the VIP sections, they had dates on the town, they attended galas together, and just recently a source close to the couple said they were traveling together. The couple was also reported to have been in agreement to keep the relationship more private, so what went wrong? Turns out the couple's recent trip to Japan might have something to do with it. Friends of the couple spoke to celebrity news publications, claiming that the couple came to the decision while on their vacation and that the breakup was amicable. Friends of the couple spoke to celebrity news publications, claiming that the couple came to a decision while on their vacation and that the breakup was mutual. A source told The Sun, "Harry and Taylor have ended their relationship. They went through a rough patch after their trip to Japan and are taking some time apart. While they may have stood on common ground when it came to a private relationship, some suggest they weren't seeing eye to eye when it came to more personal matters." A source claimed that Styles was in love with Russell and was looking to start a family with her. Now that the couple is rumored to have split, though, that is unlikely to happen. Russell has been in the industry for years, but these past couple years have been huge for her career. Hit movies and attending the Met Gala, the actress is not slowing down. You can't really blame her if she has her eyes on her career instead of starting a family. The same source suggested that Harry might be more ready to settle down, saying, "He has experienced all the fame anyone could ever want. He is now ready for the next chapter." It's a shame the couple has allegedly split. They were cute together. The first breakup confirmation of the year dropped on January 1st. AJ and Rochelle McLean confirmed that they ended their marriage, though they had already been separated for a year before that. The couple remains adamant that the split was a mutual decision and made out of love and respect. They made the confirmation and statements on social media. The couple were together over 12 years and share 2 children together. It's never a good sign when one half of a couple says they are free after a relationship ends, but model Clara Berry and Riverdale star KJ Apa might be an interesting case. The pair started hinting that they were an item at the end of 2019 with a confirmation Valentine's post in 2020. 2021 marked the birth of the couple's son, and that seemed like a happy day for the couple. Berry writing on Instagram, "I am the luckiest to have now 2 men of my life, filling my heart with this cosmic, gigantic, vast love." Then there were marriage rumors in 2022, which KJ may or may not have confirmed when he said, "I mean, maybe I am married. That's no one's business but mine, baby." By the end of 2023, fans started to think that there might be trouble in paradise. The once loved up couple stopped posting pictures of each other. March of this year finally gave fans the answers they were looking for. Berry held a Q&A on social media, and of course, many of the questions were about her romantic life. This is when the model remarked that she was free and confirmed the couple were no longer together and that she was happier now. She did clarify that the situation was hard, especially when it came to co-parenting, as she couldn't be with her family all the time now, but made sure to clarify that things were going well. America's favorite podcaster, Bobby, and her husband Corey filed for divorce back in February of this year, citing irreconcilable differences. But a rumor involving popular rapper Drake adds an unexpected layer to the story. Bobby is known for her celebrity interviews because she puts the celebs in slightly
awkward situations. It makes for funny conversation and more honest answers, at least that's what our fans think. One particular interview with Drake went viral, and it wasn't just because of his superstar status. The interview was conducted while laying in a bed. Fans that watched started picking apart the interview, saying that Bobby and Drake seemed a bit flirty with each other. Eventually, these comments spiraled into rumors that the pair had done more than just an interview in a bed. The rumors were publicly denied by Bobby, and it's unclear if they actually had anything to do with her divorce. What made the entire Drake situation even more suspicious, though, was that the interview was later deleted. Aspen, Ovard, and Parker Ferris are one of YouTube's royal couples, so it came as a bit of a shock to fans of the couple when their divorce was announced in April. Here's the thing, though. The divorce was discovered on April 1st, also known as April Fool's Day, so I'm sure people didn't even believe it at first. Not only was it not an April Fool's joke, though, the divorce was filed the same day Aspen announced the birth of the couple's third child. At the time, the couple hadn't addressed the divorce publicly, but allegedly Parker was still wearing his ring, which confused fans even more. Not everyone was shocked by the announcement, though. Some fans actually expected it. Speculation had been swirling online for a while before the announcement, and for good reason. The family's YouTube channel name went from the joint title to the one that was just for Aspen, and Parker started showing up in vlogs less and less. Then the situation got more confusing when divorce proceedings paused on April 17th. The reason cited was so that the couple could focus on negotiating a settlement. In total, the couple have 3 children together and were married over 8 years. Sam Fahey and Corey Kiefer are names you might recognize from the reality TV show Summer House. They were together over a year, and the breakup came as a huge shock to one of them. Sam was on an episode of the podcast Not Skinny But Not Fat, where she shared the reason she broke up with Corey. She claimed that she did it because she knew he didn't love her back. She shared that she had told him she loved him and he never said it back for the entire duration of the relationship. She went on to say, "I didn't break up with him because I don't love him. I broke up with him because he doesn't love me." That's tough to just hear from her. I can't imagine what living it was like. She shared how the pair were comfortable with each other's families and lived together when they were in the same city. She also shared the moment she realized she was done with it all. Sam said, "The trigger was he texted me like 5 or 6 days before Christmas like, 'Hey, I just realized Christmas and New Year's are coming up. What are we doing?' I was like, if you really wanted to spend that time with me, you would have texted me before then, or we would have figured it out sooner." TV personality Janelle Evans has filed for divorce from husband David Eason, and it's reported that she filed with the intent of the divorce being permanent. And it's not hard to see why when you take a look at the couple's history. The Teen Mom star and her former husband were together over 8 years and have a daughter together. Evans and Eason had already split in 2019 after a particularly nasty incident, but decided to give their marriage another shot in 2020. In a 2021 interview with Us Weekly, Evans offered some insight into why she returned to the marriage, saying, "I left him and I was like, this isn't going to be good when I go back to him. I know some people don't understand, but there's a lot of worse things that have happened in my life than getting back with my husband and trying to work it out." But what was so bad that she had to leave in the first place? Well, Evans had a little French bulldog named Nugget. Nugget, according to Eason, bit their little girl, so Eason took care of Nugget, and Nugget is now forever resting. Evans was understandably not happy about this, as she loved her dog. Evans and the kids were reported to have left the family's home for a few days, but ultimately returned. This dog incident continued to cause problems for the couple. They lost custody of their child and Evans' 2 other children from previous relationships for a few months. The couple was back together for the majority of quarantine, but the end of 2022 revealed that they were back on the rocks. Evans posted an angry message to her Instagram story regarding her birthday celebration that year. Over a picture of Evans' hand with no wedding ring was the text, "Tell me where David Eason is, cause it's my birthday at midnight and he's gone. I don't want to explain, but just know that my birthday was ruined by a narcissistic." The divorce papers were filed with the intent that the separation be permanent. Sacha Baron Cohen and Isla Fisher announced their divorce after 14 years of marriage and over 20 years together. In Hollywood, a marriage that lasts that long is rare, so it was a sad day when the divorce was announced this year. Although, the announcement was made in a way that left people wondering if they should laugh or cry. I know that doesn't sound great, but truly I have never seen a celebrity couple announce a divorce this way. It started normal enough. They put the announcement on their Instagram stories, but it was tennis themed. It featured a picture of the couple in matching white tennis outfits striking a pose. The text on the side, the default Instagram story font, read out their divorce statement. I can't decide if I love or hate this divorce statement, but one thing is for sure, it is looking camp right in the eye. And right around all the release of this big tennis movie Challengers, it's impeccable timing overall. I know tennis is used as a metaphor for marriage all the time, and tennis must mean something to them, but the timing is just too good. The couple is known for their comedy and Baron Cohen for his shock value, so it's fitting for the couple to make an announcement like this. The announcement read, "After a long tennis match lasting over 20 years, we are finally putting our rackets down." It went on to say the couple decided to divorce last year in 2023 and that they wanted to work through the situation privately, also writing that they will forever share in our devotion and love for our children, before finishing off the story with a request for privacy. Big Brother stars Memphis Garrett and Christmas Abbott have called it quits, but fans don't seem surprised at all. In fact, many say they expected it due to Garrett's behavior in the marriage. The couple met while on Big Brother together, and it seems like a beautiful romance at first. During the couple's marriage, rumors of infidelity have come up for both parties. TMZ reports that the couple's split has a lot to do with infidelity and lying, but Garrett's actions in the relationship have also likely played a big role in the split. The couple officially split a week before the divorce was filed because Christmas filed for a temporary DV restraining order against Garrett. A judge did grant her the court-ordered protection. There have also been rumors that Christmas had been wanting and even requesting a divorce for a while. Christmas has requested privacy during this time. Do y'all remember Armie Hammer and all the rumors and charges against him regarding a certain forbidden type of meal and SA charges? Well, he got another girlfriend and they broke up maybe less than a year after they started dating. The timeline, it's just super messy and hard to follow, as Hammer was divorcing his ex-wife last summer, and then he and Marina were allegedly together almost immediately after. So Marina Gree and Armie Hammer seemed to get engaged in October, so if they got together in the summer, that's like maybe 3 months of dating. The engagement lasted until January of this year. For anyone wondering, Marina did know about the allegations surrounding Armie Hammer. She claimed that her time with him, though, was positive. She shared this and more in a post to her Instagram story regarding the breakup, writing, "Our relationship was a space where I felt deeply appreciated, supported, loved, and understood. I know him as a gentleman in every sense of the word. Our decision to get married and plans for a future together were rooted in strength, encouragement, and deep mutual care."
Ariana Grande has no tears left to cry about negative rumors surrounding her relationship with Ethan Slater. But is that because the SpongeBob bang and pop princess has left him high and dry? I mean, with Ariana, it's more of a question of when, not if, that she'll leave Ethan. Listen, hater or lover, she's a serial dater who has a preference for men who are in relationships when she meets them. There is something programmed into that girl, like there is in many traumatized women, where she needs to feel the superiority of taking someone's significant other from them, of feeling like an alpha woman, better than that girl, you know? It's sad, and she clearly has some things she needs to work on within herself to get past this and find happiness with partners that aren't chosen just for the love of the game. That's why Ariana gets bored and moves on quickly, cheating more often than not as well. It's kind of become her shtick, but it wasn't until the not conventionally handsome Ethan Slater was her choice that people actually cared. When it was Big Sean, Mac Miller, Pete Davidson that she was home wrecking, they're good looking. Since 2014, Ariana has been pervasively pursuing married or tied down men to take as her new boo. And that's why the public has now branded her a homewrecker. Someone who has physical relations with someone who is in a relationship and they do it knowing about the person's spouse. Ariana knew. Stop trying to defend her, you know, even if you love her, we should genuinely bring back shame a little, guys. Especially given that Ariana knew the spouse of her recent boyfriend, Ethan Slater, so well, they were friends of their own accord. She even held their newborn baby. And then a couple days after that newborn baby is, popped out, Ethan drops divorce papers on his nursing wife's lap and left her to be with Ariana, who has since served her husband, Dalton Gomez, papers 3 days prior to them first being seen as a couple. And a particularly repulsive looking one at that, no offense. This isn't Ariana's first home wrecking rodeo. In 2013, she and Mac Miller had an affair while he was still with his long-term partner, Nomi Leisure. Nomi left Mac because of it, who fights hard to get her back, much to Ariana's fury. So she goes and bangs Big Sean in the meantime, breaking up his engagement with Naya Rivera. After doing so, in 2016, she returns having an affair with Mac Miller, which then ends him and Nomi Leisure for actual good. When she's done using losing Mac, or more accurately, he becomes too hard to date. In 2018, she dumps him and is seen with Pete Davidson the same week, because as Ariana once admitted, she wanted to make Mac jealous, even though she cheated on him with Pete, who in the meanwhile had just cheated on his long-term partner with Ariana, Cassie David, and dumped her over text the day before he was seen with Ariana. And then after Pete, well, she meets Dalton. She stays with him for a few years and naturally cheats on him with a married man. Because despite what Ethan Slater and Ariana's PR teams are pushing about them both being single when they got together, the couple was having a sloppily public and obvious affair on the set of Wicked, being witnessed holding hands, even kissing before either party was separated, let alone divorced from their partner. Then Ariana goes and releases that single and the subsequent album about breaking up a family, wherein she acts like she's the victim, talks about healing herself and finding new love. Gotta say, if Ariana has anything, it's balls and audacity. But this is just part of her unfortunate insecurity pattern, which is another dooming red flag for the couple outside of Ethan's own issues as well, which we'll get to. One of the keys is Ariana likes a man who has recently split from his partner or still with her because they're more likely to offer commitment. To quote, Ariana might be looking to get into a long-term relationship and has fallen into the pattern of dating men who have just come out of relationships because she knows that they will be more likely to commit, as they'll be looking to fill the void of their ex-girlfriends, Noble explained. When people come out of relationships, they're a lot more vulnerable. They often want someone to take the place of their ex and will be more likely to jump into a relationship without hesitation. Starting a new relationship in order to numb the pain and loneliness from a breakup is a common alternative people choose instead of taking the time to heal and figure out what's best for them, Noble concludes. London-based Haley also offered some insights into why Ariana may gravitate towards men who have possibly not given themselves enough time to get over their exes, stating that firstly, even when people seem to have it all, that doesn't always equate to good self-esteem, she said, and that while outsiders may view the songstress as a woman who can have any partner she chooses, Ariana herself may not hold herself to high enough standards for the men that she dates. She also explained that just like many other people, Ariana could be prone to rushing into a relationship as soon as someone expresses any interest, rather than having the self-esteem to step back and really look at what they offer as a partner, and if they truly even like that person at all. Given the speed of which she and Ethan have progressed, this isn't too outlandish of a theory. People can rush into relationships when, deep down, they feel insecure about being alone. They can become addicted to the exciting first stages of romance and simply overlook any red flags in their new partner, Quinn explains, to finally be able to be together rather than a warning sign about their untrustworthiness. Ultimately, all long-term relationships have confront periods of mundanity, which is usually the point in which Ariana loses interest again. She gets bored, she pursues another affair. To quote Quinn, "You build a relationship based on mutual values, shared relationship goals, and respect for one another. If you rely on needing excitement or uncertainty to feel romantically connected to someone, your relationships will be short-lived. In reality, chasing the high of excitement with a new love interest is actually a fantastic way to stop you from being really emotionally intimate and connected with someone." Now, on the flip side of insecurity and deep psychological meaning behind Ariana Grande, even if she doesn't necessarily do the traditional Ariana cheat and leave after getting bored with Ethan, she built a relationship off of mutual cheating with him, which doesn't indicate a healthy foundation on Ethan's end either. But at least with Ariana, we understand the source: insecurity, issues. With Ethan, well, for those who don't know, Grande and Slater met on the set of the upcoming Wicked, and Grande began a close friendship with Slater and his estranged wife, Lily J. She frequently liked their social media posts, she was seen hanging out with the family of three, with Lily J only learning about Slater's romance with Grande a few days before the news broke to the world. That's also when she found out she'd been cheated on during the first months of her son's life. Ethan Slater's estranged wife shared her only public comments in the wake of their separation, and they were simply that Grande is the story really, she called her not a girl's girl, and Jay then added, "My family is just collateral damage. The story is her and Dalton." And that's true. When partners leave, it's not because they were stolen. No one can steal anyone from you. They can make themselves available and make it known that they are. That's why Ariana isn't a girl's girl. She knew the man was married and put out for him anyways when he wanted it back. But Ethan was the one who hurt his family. He's the one that walked out. That's why it's actually important to look to him on how the relationship can be affected by anyone's actions within it. Ariana's cheated and home-wrecked and done a lot of things, but she's never had a kid with anyone, let alone walk out on that person and that kid in the very first months of that child's life and shortly after their 10-year marriage anniversary. Even she has a line. That takes a different kind of mentality than the understandable insecurity of a former Disney child star. That takes cruelty. It takes complete ego. You genuinely have to only care about what you want and what your little man wants. We have plenty of examples from 2023 alone outside of Ethan Slater. We got Jeremy Allen White, Barry Keoghan, and John Mulaney. So talk about yikes. But if you're wondering why you haven't heard about those male celebrities doing that to their wives, the way that Ethan Slater's name is everywhere for doing that, as you can see, there's been no end to messy speculation for this pair. Headlines reading, Ariana Grande apparently took Dalton Gomez on several double dates with Ethan Slater and Lily J before she and Ethan started dating. That's damning. How about another one? Page 6 articles with fellow Wicked cast members stating such things as, and I quote, they were sloppy on set, and quote, they were seen being all over each other while he was still supposedly happily married to Lily. Bad press can be a hell of a relationship killer. Look at Taylor Swift and Matt Healy, who were forced to split because Taylor's PR team literally couldn't risk the amount of boycott that the pop singer was receiving from fans over Healy's racial comments and anti-Jewish sentiments. Benny Blanco and Selena Gomez are barely surviving so far, and it's only because you catch Selena online almost every day trying to beat people off with the negativity stick for commentary. Once bad press starts, it's hard to stop. And this couple has been enshrouded since day one. They aren't so Hollywood elite that it's the type that'll just vanish overnight either, and this will continue to haunt this pair. It will always be in articles about them. It's gonna be brought up in every interview, even when it's not relevant anymore. This is the type of Hollywood affair that once it's publicized and highly condemned, people aren't satisfied until the pair is split and will remind them of their misgivings until it happens, even if it's 10 years down the line. Honestly, that's not a great sign for a long-lasting couple. And neither's our last segment. This couple is rushing like crazy, and their friends know it, their family know it, even they know it. Ethan Slater's homies even have an exclusive article interview wherein they're quoted to be worried that Ariana Grande will break his heart. Honestly, if she does, he does deserve it, same vice versa. Neither of them are good people, and their love for one another has had a lot of collateral heartbreaks for others. You reap what you sow. But anyways, the co-stars are very much in love, a source exclusively reveals in a new issue of Us Weekly, but the relationship has Slater's friends feeling skeptical. To quote, they're worried she'll break his heart, as stated. Meanwhile, on the other end, source told National Enquirer, quote, Ariana falls hard and fast. That's who she is, but that doesn't stop her friends from worrying. To quote, everyone is telling her to slow down before she makes another mistake, but she is that girl who can never stay single for long, they added. The singer, however, reportedly even put serious restrictions on her BFFs. She doesn't want anyone talking to the media about her and Slater in any capacity. To quote, Ariana has asked all her friends not to talk about it, at least not until both of them are officially divorced, the source concluded. And that's because while Ariana is amicably settled or divorced from Dalton Gomez, Slater's still dealing with the delicate details, including the custody of his now one-year-old son with ex-wife Lily. Custody is difficult, especially because Slater bailed in the first few months of his child's life. Everything is riding in Lily J's favor, especially given that Ethan's actions can be used against him in custody hearings, as can the fact that he's moved into Ariana Grande's house after only knowing her a mere few months. After all, the delicate details are at stake, right? And that's a child's life. The couple reportedly moved in together in September, less than 2 months after Ethan filed for divorce from his wife, and with Ariana's own legal proceedings yet to even begin after splitting from husband Dalton Gomez at the time. According to a source from Us Weekly, as of October, Slater and Grande are living together in New York. The source revealed that he informed his friends and soon-to-be ex-wife Lily that he's living with Ariana full-time. The two have only known each other for less than a year and only romantically started being connected in March, but that doesn't seem to matter to the couple. Slater and Grande's living situation seems to prove that they are in it for the long haul, whether people like it or not, or whether they're thinking about future repercussions or not. So comment what you think about all this down below, viewers, and until next time, be sure to like, subscribe, and share.
Well, Kendall Jenner and the artist Bad Bunny have finally split, despite only getting together a few months ago. According to some random news articles popping up this morning, two people who we could all probably care less about have decided to go their separate ways. Now, for some reason, this is news, so let's handle it. A company called People magazine magazine cites sources who claim that two mega ultra superstars have apparently called it quits, although there is no context, explanation, or situation that really explains it. The two have been photographed together out and about at various nightclubs, restaurants, picnics in the park. Maybe not that last one, it doesn't really seem like Bad Bunny's style. Over the past few days, paparazzi have spotted Kendall out and about all by herself. Now, many people claim that she looks exceedingly single as there's no sign of Bunny anywhere, which has apparently been the case for over a month now. According to the most reputable news source there is, TMZ, this dude's been MIA in LA for a hot minute. That is a direct quote. Pure genius right there. The last time the two were actually spotted together was at a breakfast place in Beverly Hills. MIA in LA, Breakfast in Beverly Hills. Am I crazy or are those good song titles? This was after the big Halloween bash, and before that day, these two were inseparable. They appeared all over LA and sometimes not in LA. Well, there are other places that exist. What's funny about the outings is that they seem to be coordinating their exits so that they're never actually pictured together. How great would it be if these two have not been dating at all? People just saw them together once and were like, you're dating now. Facts are that Kendall and Bunny have never actually come out and said, hey, we're a couple. She's never actually gone Instagram official, which is the big sign that something is not right. What a world we live in. They appeared in some Gucci campaigns together, but that was very corporate and work related. It wasn't really a couple out on a date. There have been some intimate moments between the two, like when they were spotted on horseback riding through the countryside together, Bunny holding tight while Kendall took the reins. There were only 6 casualties that day, including the horse. They seemed like they were on track to be a happy couple for a long time, but now they have split. A tale as old as time. The rumors that they were a couple date back to February, but many speculate that it could have been way before that. Earlier this year, the musician, known as Bad Bunny, was spotted on a night out with his boo-boo Kendall, the youngest of the Kardashian clan. Now, these two were seen together having a little tiff at a Lakers game, of all places. The two were sitting courtside wearing the skin of their enemies on their boots, aka snakeskin, and while the game was mostly filled with smiles and happiness, there was a moment before the game got too heated where it looks like the couple might not be as close as people thought they were. In a short clip taken from the game, Bad Bunny leans in close to Kendall and he whispers something that makes her face go from, ooh, I love basketball, to, this isn't the time or place. Now, at first the speculation was that there was an uncomfortable question being asked and then people moved on, but the way that Bunny's mouth is shaped, it looks like that he just had bad breath and Kendall was getting a whiff of it. The rest of the game was okay and they had a good time, but their faces were never that close again. Oh, right, the whole real reason thing. Well, I don't know. That was just to get you to click the video. I appreciate your interest and I'm sorry to say that that is the extent of my knowledge onto why they've broken up. To be perfectly honest, the only reason I know who Bad Bunny is because of his performance in Bullet Train as the wolf. He's in the movie for like 10 minutes, but he steals the show. I also know him from his gig hosting Saturday Night Live a few months back, and if you've made it this far in the video and love Bad Bunny, just go watch that episode. I have to say he did a great job. But in total, honestly, I just don't know why Kendall and Bunny broke up, or even if they actually did. So instead of droning on for 10 minutes trying to squeeze out every ounce of gossip I can, let's instead just talk about the Kardashian family as a whole. There are many mistakes, their failed business plans, and much more. If that sounds good to you, drop a like down below and please follow our channel if you haven't already. So let's get going. So what are some bad Kardashian moments? Well, let's talk about the time the family went grave shopping on their show. Now, window shopping isn't weird. We all love to mindlessly walk around a store that we know well and good we will be purchasing nothing from. But the Kardashian family doesn't go to Hot Topic. Or maybe they do. I live in Canada and I haven't seen them yet. Instead, this family likes to window shop for coffins and grave plots. During an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, momager Kris Jenner decided that the best gift that she could give her kids was a nice, comfortable place to keep their lifeless husks tucked away when they pass. Kris and the crew spend the day trying to decide what model of coffin they wish to purchase, with Kris going so far as to actually getting in one to see if it's cozy. Hey, if you're trying to get cozy in your coffin, you're still alive! Bang on that lid. On top of shopping for physical coffins, she also took her kids on a tour of a graveyard that seemed to boast some pretty stellar plots. There is such a serious conversation over the choice of in the ground or in a mausoleum made of marble. Which one do you think they went with? Then of course there is the more candid moments on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, like following a brief discussion on the practice of eating the stuff that comes out after we're born. Yeah, that's a thing. Kim and Kourtney decided to hatch a plot where they would trick their family into thinking they had just eaten placenta. There, I'm only saying it once. That was the stuff. The sisters go through an elaborate preparation and brag to their family about the mystery meat they have purchased. As the evening goes on, they continue to plant the seeds right up until the forks are plunged into the meat. Following the meal, they decided that it was the perfect time to tell their family they just dined on the stuff. Of course, their immediate reaction is disgust and anger, wouldn't we all be? At the same time, don't eat mystery meat, especially if it's cooked by Kim Kardashian. That is a disaster waiting to happen. That could be an actual person for all we know. Kim's wild. They let the prank play out for some time, with Caitlyn Jenner almost blowing her chunks all over the table. But after a few moments of panic, they let it slip that the meat they had just eaten was actually brisket. But needless to say, Kim is no longer in charge of family dinner night. Now, Kendall is not just known for her ability to get in and out of relationships or for being on a reality show, she's actually also known for her acting abilities. Now, sponsored brand deals can mean a lot of money for the people involved. Just look at every cologne on the planet. They hire someone to stand on a beach for 30 seconds and they make $1 million. Around 2017, Kendall Jenner decided to partner with the soda brand Pepsi to create a commercial that would act as both an ad and a PSA against hate. The commercial consisted of hundreds of people from different parts of the world drinking Pepsi, and eventually everyone comes together on the streets of what looks like New York, and Kendall looks to the crowd, wipes off her makeup, and follows suit. Now, the cringe comes when the crowd of people appear to be at a standoff with the police. Kendall walks through the crowd and gives an officer a can of Pepsi. He sips it, and everybody cheers before they swarm the cops, who are suddenly just cool with everything that's happening. The ad was meant to be a political statement following the passing of several African American men and women in the United States, aiming to bring people together, which it did, but for the wrong reasons. The world collectively cringed at this absolute mess, forcing Kendall to drop an apology video on that season's premiere of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. She may have apologized, but we're never gonna forget that weird brand deal. Now, apart from cringy commercials and television moments, did you know that the Kardashians are kind of terrible people? Who would have guessed? Especially to the people that they employ. Kim Kardashian is arguably the most famous of her Kardashian sisters, and apparently she's also the busiest. For example, she has 4 kids, a skincare line, Skims brand, she's attending law school, she co-founded an equity team, and she recently hopped on the podcast train in addition to filming that new show on Hulu. Now, you may be asking yourself, how does one woman do all of that by herself? Well, she pays people to do it for her. Secret spilled. She has multiple assistants and nannies to help her stay above the overwhelming workload, but has been known to treat them as lesser than herself. For instance, on several occasions, Kim and her daughter North would be out to lunch, accompanied by their nanny. But Kim makes her not only sit at a separate table, just really far away from them at the restaurants, but she's also known to make her nannies walk like 10 feet away from her at all times. Unless she has multiple people with her, and then she likes to make them walk in like a flying V formation, cause I guess she's a fan of Mighty Ducks. If they walk near her or attempt to walk side by side, she blows up on them behind closed doors. Needless to say, she's had many nannies over the years and has probably made them all cry at least once. But while Kim may not be the best boss in the world, it's actually Kourtney who is known by far to be the worst Kardashian to work for. Not only is she a neat freak, needing every single thing to be exactly where it should be, but she's also known for being surprisingly cheap, even once calling a grocery store while she was shopping to compare the prices of a chicken breast, cause hey, if anyone needs that extra 99 cents, it's Kourtney Kardashian. But this isn't the worst thing that she's done. At one time, Kourtney's daughter had bitten a nanny so hard that she actually had to quit, but instead of letting it go and taking responsibility for, not teaching her daughter how to act properly, she berated the nanny and told her that she should have said something to her daughter. Cause yes, blame the woman who you're paying to raise your kid instead of the kid itself, who probably has abandonment issues. Now, the worst by far though of everyone in the family is Kylie. In 2019, she partnered with a company called Ulta that allowed her to sell her line of skincare and beauty products in their stores rather than just in pop-ups or online. And this is unfortunate considering the true nature of where these products come from. A lot of employees at the factories that mix and package these makeup and beauty products have reported that they were never given proper safety equipment that, you would need to do the job. They were only given hair nets, lab coats, and safety goggles, leaving their hands and faces completely exposed, and workers would regularly report migraines and chemical burns on their hands. If this isn't bad enough, they were also forced to act as human test subjects for Kylie's new products. Now, she has always been very proud of the fact that her company does not test products on animals, but I think we can all agree that doing it on people is like way worse. Not only did they not have proper safety equipment and were basically used as human test subjects, projects whenever Kylie wished, but the factory itself is a small, cramped one with many employees claiming that there were too many workers and not enough space. This description sounds very similar to, a sweatshop, which is a word describing a workplace in which the employees work ridiculous hours in brutal conditions for nearly nothing for pay, and many employees agree with that statement. One former tester recounts having to constantly go back and forth as her anxiety was just always through the roof, having to be around so many people in such a terrible work environment. At one point a few years back, Kylie even refused to pay her employees at a garment factory in Bangladesh, leaving thousands of employees with no money and no idea when or if they would return to work. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you. It means a lot to us here at the channel when you actually finish the videos. I know you clicked thinking one thing, but I hope this was a bright spot in your day.